This week, I wouldn't chalk it up anything other than not a lot of interest in knowing which direction you want to go. A lot of people waiting for those minutes. But it is true. If you look at last year and look at the trend, the ISM manufacturing was great. Jobless claims are going down. We're getting people employed. So just remember, you're going to hear stuff like, remember last year in March, they're talking about Walmart had bad comps. We were talking about last August, job numbers weren't that good. But overall, the trend is always your friend, Larry, and the top thing is profits, profits, profits. They keep increasing, so we want to ignore people who want to talk about peak profits. You want to ignore people who want to talk about top-line revenue growth as if that's the only thing on the planet.
Jim LeCamp, I basically agree with Lee, and I think the profit story is going to be pretty good, maybe better than people think. But you make a point in your notes that I looked at. The uncertainty factor, let's take Obamacare, for example, on taxes and regulations and what's going to happen to insurance companies, what's going to happen to businesses, hiring, hours work, because the business mandate starts, it doesn't kick in until, I guess, the end of the year, but businesses are going to start planning on that. Is there an uncertainty tax on the stock market right now, even though the economy looks better?
Well, I'd love to argue with Lee, but I agree with what he said. I do think there is uncertainty. Last year, it was about whether the Fed was going to taper or not. This year, it's not going to be about whether they taper. This year, it's going to be about whether the bond market riots or not, and whether those 10-year Treasury yields go up too far, too fast. Then on top of that, how much is the sticker shock for Obamacare really going to be? It's going to be tremendous. Not to mention, Larry, top earners already have a whole lot of tax increases set for them for those making over $250,000 this year. So those are some headwinds that we're going to face. I think the market is going higher this year. Short term, we're overbought. Sentiment's too high. Ultimately, I think the market does go higher. But these are some issues we're going to have to wrestle with. And let's point out one other thing. Copper prices, not doing so hot.
Right.
Energy prices, you mentioned, are going a little lower. Emerging markets broke down today. China's market not doing that well. Some of these markets might be sending up flares that we might have to be worried about overseas before too long.